One of, if not the biggest financial decision you will make, other than having children in your life, is home ownership. So while we're going to do the textbook version of home ownership in this packet, I will also try to talk through in this section what it is really like buying a home. If you talk to anyone who's bought a home, they will let you know how miserable the process is, how many pages you're going to end up signing, how many hidden expenses there are, that it's not really just the face value of the home, that there's a lot of hidden stuff you need to consider as well. So I'll try to talk through as much of that as I can with you as we go through this. So, when you purchase a home, you generally make a down payment and finance the remainder of the purchase option of the loan. The amount of the down payment can vary, but it's usually between 10 and 30% of the sale price. I'll tell you right now, the main one that the typical amount that you want to put down is 20%. A 20% down payment is the magic number. When you put 20% down, you no longer have to pay mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is not insurance for you, but rather insurance for the mortgage company. If the mortgage company had to foreclose the home on you because you weren't making payments and sell the home, and they have any losses, mortgage insurance will cover the losses for the mortgage company. So when you pay mortgage insurance, there is zero benefit to you. It's only insurance for the actual mortgage company themselves. You have to pay mortgage insurance until you have paid or own 20% equity in your home. In other words, put down or have the value of 20% of your home paid off. So 20% is the magic number in what you want to put down on a home if you can. Most typically, loans now, people are putting 5% down. So what is the amount? The mortgage is the loan amount. The mortgage is the loan amount. And it's very important to know that the loan amount or the mortgage amount is not the sell amount of the home. You might buy a home for $100,000, but if you have to put $20,000 down, that $80,000 is the mortgage amount. So how do you find the mortgage amount? You do the selling price minus your down payment. That mortgage amount is going to be in the formula that we've already seen for loans, for like purchasing cars or anything like that, where you create payments. That mortgage amount is going to be the A value of that. So what do you do to calculate a down payment? You're always going to do the percent times the sell price. That's how you find your down payment. So for instance, they do 25% of $240,000 in this example. They get a down payment of $60,000. So now that you know your down payment, you can go and calculate the mortgage amount. Again, the mortgage amount is the selling price minus the down payment. So the selling price of the home in this example that they're talking about is $240,000. The down payment is $60,000. That gives us our mortgage amount, or A, in this case, is $180,000, the amount that you're borrowing. So the down payment is generally the largest initial expense, but there are expenses associated with the purchase. This textbook covers a couple of them and does a real good job compared to other textbooks, but still doesn't even get near the whole story. So these payments are due at closing when the sale of the house is finalized, and these are called your closing costs. So closing costs, for instance, you have someone file all your paperwork. The clerk files all your paperwork. Those people charge closing costs to do that, all the paperwork. You also might have things such as loan origination fees. The bank is going to charge you a fee up front for setting up the loan. They also might do something called points. What is a point? It's really important to understand that a point is 1% of A, the mortgage amount. Okay, I want to be very clear here. When you do a point, it is not of the sell price of the home. It is 1% of the mortgage amount. So find the mortgage amount first and then multiply it times 1% for each point. So if it's 2 points, that would be 2%. 1.5 points would be 1.5%. They give an example here. We found that our mortgage amount was $180,000. They're saying you have to pay a fee of 1.5 points. So what do? You do 1.5% of the mortgage amount, $180,000, and you're going to have to come to closing not only with your down payment of $60,000, you also have to come with an additional $2,700 for points. Again, there's also the closing cost that you would pay on top of that, among many other things. So this is all that we're going to consider in this textbook is just closing costs, loan origination fees, and points. But I did want to talk to you about the real world, some other things, fees that you would see. Anytime you want to get a loan, you're going to have to pay for someone to appraise the home for you. So there's going to be an appraisal fee. And also, if you want to get a home, you're going to want to do an inspection. So the appraisal fee might be a couple $100 up to $400 or $500. An inspection would be a minimum of $300 up to $600, $700, $800 as well. So you're going to have to come up with a minimum of another $1,000 just to be able to buy this home. You're going to have other fees on top of that. If you're moving and you need to rent a truck or moving company, that's several $1,000s. And then guaranteed, when you get into your home, you're going to find things that you need to fix that you didn't need to, several $1,000s on top of that. So when I purchased one of my homes, I went in with a down payment of $15,000. To give you an idea, my all-in expenses within 3 months of moving in were over $30,000. So while $15,000 was the down payment, I accrued over $15,000 in other costs between inspections, appraisals, closing fees, moving in expenses, and other little things that I had to fix. Very, very quickly, what you think is a simple down payment becomes way more difficult.